Meclan sent us the Ajazz AK820 right here, and in this video, we will tear this down and look into all important aspects of the keyboard. But before we get ahead of ourselves, this video is brought to you by Meclans. Visit their website for a wide range of selections from keyboards to DIY kits to keycaps and switches. They offer a 30-day refund for defects and a 15-day no questions asked return policy. Their Amazon link will also be in the description below. This is a wired keyboard in the 75% layout that features a knob, south-facing flex-cut RGB PCB, and a gasket structure with silicone gaskets. The keyboard is fully dampened with 5 layers of dampers, which we will go over in the teardown segment of this video. The unit I got has Ajazz Moon switches that are not pre-lubed and has 37 grams of operating force. More on this later. Lastly, at this price point, you can expect NKRO and 1000Hz polling rate. If you have any questions, comment down below. Otherwise, let's move on. Out of its box, you get the manual, keycap switch puller, cable, a PET dust cover, and of course, the keyboard itself. This is a lightweight keyboard and feels a tad bit hollow despite the fully dampened case. Under the keyboard are standard 2-level kick-up feet with rubber pads. Then above the keyboard is the USB-C input positioned in the middle. I prefer this input position so my coiled cable is positioned right. The knob is made of aluminum and wobbles a little bit, and that was expected. It is a 21mm knob positioned on a 6mm knob port. Now the keycaps are made of double-shot PBT in OEM profile. Stabilizers are okay, yet they aren't perfectly tight. They're lubed anyways and generously done at that. Switches here are Ajazz Moon switches that aren't pre-lubed. Its sound signature leans more towards the clacky side. And upon checking, it seems no parts of the switch is made of palm. And if you're wondering, these are 3-pin switches. Let's give it a listen. This is offered in 2 colorways, the black and the white version, both with a tricolor design. The white one looks cool with a bit of a feminine touch, while the black one looks gamer inspired. Case is shiny and feels standard for budget keyboards. It's also very smooth, yet doesn't have any gloss in it. At the lower right, you get some branding from Ajazz. And per its manual, this has 18 RGB modes toggleable with FN and backslash. There are more options for the RGB control, and you may just refer to the user manual for that information. Let's move on to the teardown. So I got this torn down, and tearing it down was fairly easy, but it's just weird that when I pulled out, this knob got left behind. So I used a keycap switch puller right here and then pulled it off. Behind the scenes video on tearing this down is on my TikTok. Just search for Biboyharanero. Anyways, back to this thing. Once you remove the knob, so there'll be 1, 2, 3 clips to pry off, another 1, 2, 3 clips to pry off on top. So 3 at the bottom, 3 on top. There are no clips at the sides, by the way, in case you're wondering. Alright, so that's it for the teardown. Let's go over the dampers inside. First, I am going to remove this so that we can have a better look in between the PCB and the PC plate. Inside the PCB and PC plate are 3 layers. There you go. 3 layers right there. You have a layer of Poron sandwich foam, and then you have a layer of IXP switch pad, and then PET anti-static film right there. So 3 layers in between the PC plate and the PCB. The case foam, you get foam that's directly underneath the PCB and silicone. I was not expecting silicone here because it's a fairly lightweight keyboard, and better than no silicone. Silicone is actually, for me, the best case damper. Adding silicone here was a good choice. Let's move over the other stuff. So the plate here, as I said, has flex cuts. The PCB also has flex cuts. Very good. Gasket mounted keyboards should always have a flex cut PCB. Next thing to check is whether this has... No, it doesn't have screw-in stab ports, so you're stuck with plate mounted stabs. Anyways, in case some of you are wondering, for a full teardown, you're gonna have to remove these screws that connect the PCB to the PC plate. So there you have it. Again, purchase this from Meclan's website or their Amazon pages. I might not have put all the information you're looking for here, so if you have any questions, comment down below and I'll be sure to answer them when I can. See you next time.